I'm back. I'm back. I unfortunately experienced the mother of all technical glitches. Let me get onto Discord. This is where it stands. Right now, the predictions based on chat, based on numbers, is Biden just needs Nevada to win. That's all he needs. Let me see what Medic Chan is talking about. Favor threshold. I like your current vote difference in column E. It's a good way to show right off the bat, like, depending on who you are, what the party needs to make up. Ooh, total to tie. I like that column. That's a good idea. Total to tie. I like that, actually. Remaining favor threshold. Where did your remaining favor threshold come from? That's a good way to look at it. I hadn't thought about breaking it down that way. Of just constantly be looking for a tie. Because I think one of the things I noticed when I'd be going through this calculation is how many times maybe a tie would be possible. So like a number of times I got to like 269 versus 269, 268 versus 268. So I can see the advantage of continuing that calculation. But yeah, I'm just kind of thinking out loud with this spreadsheet. I just want to understand why people are saying, ooh, this is certain, or ooh, this is not certain. So right now, we're waiting for 700,000 more votes in Pennsylvania. In terms of favoritism, how are those votes going to spread out? What's the final vote tally going to be? Well, right now, if things keep up with current momentum, we're going to see a pretty decisive Trump victory in Pennsylvania. However, if that maybe changes just a little bit, 62% of these remaining 700,000 votes versus 38%. Let's say we change that just a little bit, just like Medic Chan's talking about. And maybe we get like Biden eking out a victory in Pennsylvania. But of course, you can see winning by 3 points. That would definitely trigger a recount in Pennsylvania. So that's one of those kind of like out there things. But you know, I mean, stranger things have happened. Just kind of depends. Like, this is what he would need to kind of get that victory. And I think there's yeah, you can do it more specifically. Nevada? No change there, huh? Can you imagine, though? Alright, let's set this back to something more reasonable at the moment. So, Pennsylvania. Oof. These are the 4 that I'm mostly looking at. Here, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Georgia. Did I get North Carolina on there? I think I did. Yeah. What is going on with North Carolina? That's the real thing. No change in reporting from North Carolina. So I don't see any reason to change thoughts on that. So North Carolina, right now, look at these remaining votes. So if they're calling Nevada, at this many votes remaining. Like, wow. I'm curious about Arizona and the votes remaining in Arizona. Seems like a lot of votes remaining, you know? I don't think there's really anything else to look into. Nothing else is really changing. I think that's probably the best place to kind of leave it. I hope you've enjoyed this random broadcast. I was gonna do something a little bit different and just like do this for 8 hours, but I don't know. My calculate favor threshold isn't specific enough to throw into your column H though, since I ignored any votes that weren't cast for either of them. Ah, yes. Kind of MacGyvering it, but it's fun, you know? Pennsylvania, Nevada, Arizona. Okay, let's just put some gray on these ones. There we go. Looks a little bit better. So I think that's where it's mostly at now. You're getting 7129 for which state? For Pennsylvania? So totally flipping it to where then the Democrats are up by 160,000. That would be quite the flip right there for Pennsylvania. As it stands, as it would be. How would he lose votes, though? There's something wrong with the calculation if he's losing votes. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I see. No, that's fine. No, it's good. He's losing potential votes as I change this. Never mind. I was... Ah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you have to bring the threshold down just a little bit. I think where I found it to be pretty happy was at like 0.615 and 0.385. And we're just skirting over like the margin of error. We could probably go like 0.62. Nope. Let's go 0.6 and 0.4. Oh, no. 0.615? Wait, 605. 0.395. Oh, so close. Look at that. It's actually kind of fun to calculate by hand, but only if you have plenty of time. It's like the joy of number hunting. So, with that in mind, imagine like a video game scenario where there's this armored vehicle that has a whole bunch of like Republican votes in it, and it's being protected, and they're trying to get these votes that have to be opened and counted by official old people counted in Pennsylvania or something like that. And so I can see strategically, if this was like an operation on Payday, the gang that I was in from Payday, we would have made calculations on here. We would make calculations to determine which parties would need more votes, and then we would just like drive around with a whole bunch of like criminal fake votes. Like, and that's, I'm not saying that's what anyone would do, but I'm saying like in a video game scenario where you're like putting the numbers out there and you're like charting stuff, like this is the kind of you can report news with these kind of numbers. Or for example, like I feel like this is a way to like manipulate people's opinion, where you're like, well, you know, there's only a difference in Nevada of like 8,000 people, so technically anybody could win Nevada. Whereas you look up here and you're like, man, how are we going to get 120,000 people to flip Michigan so Trump can have Michigan? You know, I really wanted Trump to win in Michigan. Or how are we going to get 144,000 people to flip Pennsylvania for Biden? But then you're like, oh, wait. I guess there's only 190,000 votes to count in Nevada. Meaning, however they split that up, that'll decide where those final votes come from. Or like what the split's going to be. Same thing here with Pennsylvania, but that's a lot of freaking votes. Like, just... that's a lot of votes. Like, it used to seem like more votes were more votes when we were down in the percentages. Like, if I go back to 2:30... let's see here. If I go back to 2:30 p.m., like, look at the difference in Pennsylvania. Trump was winning by 344,000 votes. Now, if we go to now, we're saying in Pennsylvania that Trump's only winning by 144,000 votes. So, for Biden now to get another 144,000 votes on top of, essentially, it seems like all these votes, like that's a huge margin to have made up. 4.89% he went from, all the way to 2.05%. So he shaved friggin' 2.8% off Trump's lead in the last 7 hours, 6 hours. That's incredible to see that, though. Just to watch that change over time. Like when you're looking for memeing and trying to figure out what's going on, like just seeing that, I think that's pretty interesting. 1 million votes were remaining. Okay? 1 million votes were remaining, and Biden closed the gap by 2.8%. They call that like 28 points. This is 48 points here, 48.9 points. So he closes, and now there's 774,000 votes remaining, and 2% more to go. So it almost seems like Pennsylvania could easily go Biden if you feel like, you know, 250,000 votes shaved off 2.8% off Trump's lead. So another 250,000 votes would put us at 500,000 votes remaining, and that would put it at neck and neck. So I find that to be pretty incredible if you look at like, okay, where's all the excitement going to be? I suppose you might argue that there could be just as much excitement in Arizona, because look at this. Arizona has 2.42%, and they've got like what, 80,000 people. So take it as you will, but like I can see arguments for like little things changing over time, but I would like to see more. You know, I want more numbers. And I think in the next... it could be now, actually. There could be an update from Arizona. Let me see here. Here, look at this. They said 1 a.m. Eastern on... okay, plus Star Trek's on tonight. Pretty excited for that. So 1 a.m. Eastern time is 10 p.m. my time. So we'll get an update on Arizona in 45 minutes, 50 minutes. So Arizona, what's going on in Arizona? Well, right now Biden is winning by 80,000. So the kind of turnarounds that Trump supporters are currently looking for in terms of like where's Trump going to get 80,000 votes is the kind of turnaround that Democrats are looking for in Pennsylvania right now. Actually, you can't see the numbers. So, like, if Democrats expect this to turn around with 700,000 more votes to count, then how could you not expect Trump supporters to expect this to turn around with 450,000 potential remaining votes? And again, these are just estimates based on what websites like New York Times give as like, here's the total percentage votes counted. But they're also guessing how many votes they're going to get back. So there's a certain number of registered voters. So we all know the max number of total voters that could come in. If we just did a clean, like, here's the total voters, let's split it on party lines, total number of votes, boom, what do we get, who wins, go. But this is saying, like, some people might not vote, or they died from COVID or various reasons. And so the number of voters usually seems to vote, or follow the patterns of how many people have voted so far. So these are just estimates. But with those estimates, back here they said there was 1 million votes remaining in Pennsylvania back at like 2:30 p.m. Now, if I go back to the newest version of the sheet, which, what are we at, 9:12 p.m.? We find ourselves in a slightly different situation. So now I'm going to copy that sheet, and that copy is going to be my new working sheet, so now I can go back in time if I want to. Am I going to play some TF2 tonight? That's an excellent question. I need to find something to do. I need to find something to do until Star Trek comes on. And right now, all this election stuff has been the most engaging thing for me. Like, my brain's just kind of having fun poking at these numbers. I think Medic Trans kind of think it's the same thing. It's different. You don't normally get this kind of thing to do. It's like an ARG, but like you have to choose to want to do the ARG. And so for me, this ARG, I don't know. I'm just rolling with it. Oh, here. We'll go back here. I just like kind of leaving this view up and then just kind of looking at it and thinking, like, what does this mean? What's the difference between columns K and L on your spreadsheet? That's an excellent question. Column K says, so I take favor and I split it in two different directions. So sometimes the favor is 50-50. So it adds up to 1, and I just cleanly split it, and it goes half to one party, half to the other party. Other times, we have elections where it's not 50-50, or it goes to a third party. So, kind of like we saw earlier, 1.2% of the current vote in Pennsylvania is going to a third party. So I can say right here that this is going to a third party, or like Green Party votes, because I've already looked and it says 1.2%. And that makes up, because this is not going to be a 50-50 split between this party, since some of the votes are still being counted and some of them are still going to the Green Party. So one thing that I kind of discovered over time that I didn't think about before is that some states just have two parties. And so it's pretty easy just to make some random predictions and say 50-50 and see what you get. And so I took that into account and I said, this column is just the votes that you get from essentially this right here, 0.507, 0.481. And then you have like 10,000 votes that are remaining because this is not a straight 50-50 split. Like you're missing 1.2%. So this is the initial. And then this would be this value plus a little bit extra if there wasn't a third party. So like half of the 1.2%, or maybe like this percentage of it. Because you'll see some variation in my numbers. Like here I used, I multiplied it by this. So I guess you could say your numbers might differ from mine because I'd be missing like 1.2% somewhere. So I see what you're saying. I guess I skipped over that earlier. I can make a modification. Thanks for asking about that. So this would be, yeah, so maybe call that favor votes, and then call this votes, because this is like votes, favor votes, and like Green Party votes, or, you know, missing percentage votes. So maybe it's not a bad idea to get rid of column K and then just break this out into third party votes and stop pretending like there's no third party, because I have kind of simplified it. And so right now I'm not assuming a third party exists. I'm adding third party votes to each of the parties right here. Oh, is this right at the Green Party votes? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Thank you. Oh, okay, yeah. Votes plus favor. I see. Dude, you know my chart better than me. This is fantastic. I'm liking this. Are we having fun yet? But this is how I was able to just go to sleep last night. Is I was doing... Now, I didn't have this chart last night. I had it on like the map version. But things like this is just the way to do it. Because I want to know. And it's really simple math, as long as you understand what you're doing. But yeah, I think me adding the Green Party vote in every single state, I think it's fine. But yeah, on the really, really close elections, I suppose it would mess with the numbers. And so you'd see a difference in your and my numbers if we're doing the same thing. You'd probably see a difference of 10,000. So you'd see like 134,000 for the vote difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. Yeah, well, so it wasn't. I didn't have it like this before. I didn't have that comment on there, and I just chose green arbitrarily. That's just how it worked out. Like, I just freaking chose green, and it was green. but once we got to Pennsylvania and I realized that, that's when I was like, oh crap. But now check this out. You know what's really, really cool? Let's go to freaking Kentucky. Look at Kentucky. Here's what I noticed about Kentucky that I thought was interesting. It's like my subconscious knew. Check out Kanye West, 6,312 votes in Kentucky, where Donald Trump just like destroyed Biden. This is kind of like the liberal Seattle or the liberal Portland or the liberal LA or whatever. But like Kanye West still got like 6,000 people to vote for him. And I'm not making fun of him. I think it's cool. Like, he ran for president. That's great. But the fact that he was allowed on the ballot in Kentucky, I think that's great. But that's like Kentucky's laws. But so many other states blocked him. What was the other one? I think it was Wyoming. Also had Kanye West on the ballot. Like, check this out. Nope, that wasn't it. Look at that. Joe Jorgensen, the third party candidate, she's got 60,000 votes in Georgia. So like in Georgia right now, all our predictions that we've been working on show that like Donald Trump is ahead by 30,000 in Georgia. Okay. So like all the remaining votes, all 253,000 remaining votes, what I'm saying here is that none go to the Green Party and everything goes to the Republicans and the Democrats along that split. And if that's the case, then we wind up with 31,748 votes for Donald Trump. But if you look at this, you can see that Joe Jorgensen has got 60,000 votes in Georgia. That's pretty intense. So like, if I take these numbers and I pop these two numbers into this spreadsheet right here, then I'm going to get the Green Party vote and the number of votes right here. So yeah, I guess, but yeah, it was an accident that I made it green. I'm not sure why I did that. Yeah, but if you also think about it, Mitch McConnell won Kentucky by a landslide. And so Mitch McConnell doing a lot of stuff, having a lot of influence. I mean, yeah, he's doing what he's doing, but he was like, nah, it's okay. Kanye can run in this. He can run in this environment. And so it's like Mitch McConnell, Kanye West, and President Trump were like, yeah, we should have Kanye West run here. This will be perfect. And I kind of like how that worked out. There was 4 states that Kanye West has votes in. So I was thinking of making a separate Kanye West sheet, but I don't think it'll get too many updates. So it'd be kind of boring. Kanye. I mean, I'm Ice Van West. On some level, I have to track Kanye. All right, let me look at Louisiana. What's the other one? Louisiana has Kanye West, huh? Oh, yeah, look at that. He's got 5,000 people. Joe Jorgensen's got 21,000. So Joe Jorgensen is more popular than Kanye West. Think about that for a second. In politics. She's 5 times more recognizable or more votable than Kanye West in Louisiana. I like little nuggets of truth like that. It's funny. So is that there's 2 more states. I want to say, I thought it was Wyoming. It's not Wyoming. Arkansas, Colorado, Oklahoma, Utah, and Vermont. Oh, Utah, huh? Oh yeah, he's got 4,000 votes here. So 9,000 plus 6,000, so he's got 15,000 votes so far. Then Colorado, another 7,000, so he's got 22,000 votes. And then Vermont, I didn't know he was in Vermont. Thought he got tossed out of Vermont. 22,000, so we'll say 24,000. Okay, so 24,000. Oklahoma. 24,000 so far, plus another, oh, what's that? 55. So let's just say 30,000 for Kanye West. And I got everything. Oh, I didn't do Arkansas. Or did I? No, I didn't do Arkansas. So 30,000. 34,000. So I got 34K so far. If that's all the states. Thanks, that helped. 34,000 for Kanye West. Here, I'll just note it, just to make it official on this sheet. I know he already conceded, but just in case the election commission needs some kind of evidence, I'll provide that. So what did I say for Kanye West? 34,000 for Kanye West? Okay. 34,000 Kanye West. Just a quick, that was my overview. I don't think I'll have any contested ballots, but you know. Okay. So, is there anything new? Have the votes changed? Kanye West tabs up. 34,000 votes for Kanye West. Quite the road ahead. We'll get there. It's still cool that he ran. He can say that he ran for president of the United States of America. Like, what is your experience? Well, made a lot of money in the media world. Moving into politics, I've found 34,000 people agree with me. That's cool. Oh, I see what I did. Here, I should do that. Yes. Move or copy sheet. Okay, now I've made a copy. Okay, so Kanye West, we're gonna leave there for now. I'll check in on Kanye West in just a little bit here. Did Pennsylvania's numbers change at all? No, because I could just quickly scan the last few ones. Did Wisconsin numbers change at all? No. Did Michigan numbers change at all? Yes. Michigan numbers have changed. Holy cow, I see different numbers for Michigan. Cool. So this will be fun. Let me update Michigan real quick. Obviously, Michigan's not going to change, but since it's such a close margin right now, like what are we looking at for Michigan? Okay, 2%, maybe not, but I'm curious if these new numbers will make a difference. So let's go. Let the addiction continue. 2769197 26345. I need a computer to do this for me, don't I? And they say greater than 98% have been turned in. That's the way it's been forever. So we just assume 99%, 100% have been turned in, and we're just going to keep adding Kanye, I am God. So Michigan, okay, so with those latest numbers from Michigan, does that change anything? Let's see here. I've got it split at 50-50. So let's say Michigan is 100,000 votes remaining based on these projections still. I wonder if if I move that to 99. So let's say I move that to 99% because they say it's greater than 98%. So let's say I move the ball forward a little bit because Michigan says greater than 98%. I was just going with a straight up 98%, but you can see that gives 110,000 votes, and that seems a little bit implausible right now. So if I put it at 99%, and we split 50-50 with only 54,000 votes, does that change anything? Well, Joe Biden in a 50-50 split still wins by 134,000 votes. If he's accelerating, we would assume it's like something like this. And he's still leading by a lot, and he's winning, and he gets Michigan. But I was just kind of curious what was going on in Michigan, because I didn't expect numbers to be updated again. It's kind of handy. What about Pennsylvania? Let's see what's going on with Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, 89%. Nope, no change in Pennsylvania. North Carolina, come on and raise up. Take your shirt off, spin it around your head like a helicopter. North Carolina, PD Pablo, that's the vibe. Oh yeah, North Carolina's got tons of different numbers now. I think. Nope, same thing. Sometimes when they're upside down for the Republican, I forget. Georgia, any change in Georgia? Yes, numbers have changed in Georgia drastically. Let's update Georgia, shall we? So on top we got Biden with 2. So he got about 3,000 more votes. Okay, so that'll be fun to check out. 2398715, and then Donald Trump's got 2.4 million for 2.7. I'm gonna have to look at the county by county in a second. And then they're saying still 95% have been collected. So they're still saying that there could be 250,000 ballots out there. If they changed the bar and they said 96% were collected, maybe 200,000. 99 have been collected, maybe 50,000 remain. So look at Georgia. Georgia still has Trump winning if trend continues like this. But right now, what did I say? Georgia has got 95%. So we're still saying that somewhere out there are 250,000 ballots in Georgia. And of those 250,000 ballots in Georgia, if they go 50-50, still says that Trump is going to win Georgia. But, you know, could always, like, all those ballots could be heavily weighted for Biden, and Biden wins. But it just kind of depends on what we think. I mean, again, the long shot elections, I tend to favor the incumbent or the person that's like already ahead and kind of winning. But with this whole mail-in ballot and everyone doing a lot of mail-in ballots, it does seem strange. So here we are. Let's see if Nevada has woken up just yet. I want to see if Nevada's got anything else. Nope, no change. Arizona, did we get an update? It's 9:30 already. Should be getting little updates and then a few more updates from these two. Arizona, still no update. Damn. Oh, no. The update is in 25 minutes that we get from Arizona, hopefully. Or they said by, oh no, after 1 a.m. Okay. So in 30 minutes, potentially we get an update on Arizona to know what's going on. And we can pick up the trends and see where it's going. But right now, if those votes split out, the way they're splitting out, 0.507, 0.4, oh, that's pretty tantalizing. Oops, wait. The interface doesn't show the floating bubble if you don't have enough width. So let's put Biden at 0.507. And then we'll put Trump at 0.479. 0.479. Still shows Joe Biden winning by 90,000. Well, I'm happy so far. This is not like a landslide either way. I think both candidates probably thought, oh yeah, my side's going to get a landslide. But you can see things just kind of like bouncing back and forth. It's interesting. I think for now, 25 more minutes. Waiting to see what Arizona does, and then watching Michigan and Wisconsin update all night. Like, Michigan seems like it's in the bag now. That's great. Wisconsin, it's close, but I don't think it's close enough to really worry. Anyways. Alright, well, what is Fox News saying? Look at all these votes. He's received the most votes out of any presidential candidate in the history of the United States of America. That's Joe Biden. He's received more votes than anybody, any president in the history of the United States of America. Donald Trump, I believe, has now received more votes than Obama received his first go around. 72 million, like, that's a good amount. That's a good turnout. I think 64 to 62. Okay, last time it was 60. It was like 64, 62, something like that. Yeah, and so considering this is neck and neck, and he's only got like, well, actually look at the popular votes. It's pretty intense if you look at the difference. 3.5 million people. That's a big difference since they're counting a lot of those mail-in ballots. 3.5 million people Joe Biden's got on his side here. So let's see him down at 48. 46 would be a pretty reasonable drop. People refuse to call Alaska. Like, come on, just call Alaska. It's over. 50% of the votes are in, though. So, maybe Alaska is... It's got to be over. 3%. Yeah. Here's Juneau. Then Anchorage. There's hardly anybody in this state. 45 people. The military lives up here. Where the heck is the majority of the people? How come I can't find them? What's going on? Every time, there should always be the most votes, yeah. So, this is where we're at. Nevada. Right now, all that has to happen is Joe Biden wins Nevada, and he's won the election. That's it. Will Arizona flip? I mean, a lot of people, I think, look like this is how I think Republicans see it right now. But I think this is how they're arguing it. Like, this is how... Yeah, and then I would say... What was the other close race? Wisconsin. I would say this is what, like... This is what Republicans would be saying right now. You know what I mean? So, like, Trump is so close to victory. Biden is illegitimate because this is like a rigged election up here. Okay, fine, we give it to him. And then Arizona, oh my gosh. What's the spread in Arizona? Well, the spread in Arizona is 90,000 votes, and it's looking pretty good because Senator Mark Kelly won his election. Therefore, oops, that's the wrong one. Therefore, Arizona goes blue. And then this is kind of where we're stuck at. Who wins Nevada? And in the vote that we did earlier in chat, this is kind of where that comes into play. Is do you think Nevada is to go one way or the other? Well, let's look at the votes in Nevada. So, where's Nevada right now? Nevada, 8,000 votes. So let's say this is the future we've got right now. This is the map, and this is how everything works out. I mean, if Biden just wins Georgia, if Georgia comes through, fantastic, right? He's done. If North Carolina comes through, Biden wins. Don't even worry about Nevada. Who cares? Give it to Trump. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Just give it to Trump. He still doesn't win. But we would need North Carolina. So, again, let's assume North Carolina doesn't come through. Nevada comes through. Joe Biden wins. So it's pretty easy. Just needed to make that call. But I think it's worth doing that. And then doing that, since I'm still watching all these elections. Curious if they've updated, because I'm starting to memorize the numbers. So like the last 3 numbers. So I can kind of just glance at it real quick. And I can see if it's updated. So I can tell none of these have updated. Because I recognize the triplet pairs. So this was kind of fun. But how long can I go on? Should I wait until 10 o'clock and see if I get the Arizona numbers and then or keep going? That's the real question. I need to get some water. I don't have any water right now. This is so good. It's vanilla flavored. I'm cheating, but it's just vanilla flavored yogurt. There's a particular optimum scraping method to minimize the number of scrape maneuvers you can make with your spoon. All right. So 15 more minutes, huh? Well, what to do? Let's look at CNN's website. I haven't actually like read the news at all, with all the theory in mind. So it's like now back to reality, right? Now back to like what your parents are seeing, what grandparents are seeing, what people are seeing that are not like taking and spending a lot of time doing what we've been doing, which again is like make your own chart to track everything. Like, why not? If you understand how numbers work, it can't be that hard. Give it a shot. So now back to reality. This is what I think it is, 264 to 217. And the news is saying 253 to 213. Mostly because the news is still not calling Arizona. And 213. So where did Trump get 4 votes that I'm not counting? Where did I give Trump 4 votes? It's probably the Nebraska. My guess would be Nebraska. They're not calling. Yeah. So what they're showing right now, their predictions, apparently Nebraska hasn't finished these ones, which everyone is assuming are going to be for Donald Trump. Which would be hilarious because I assumed they were going to be for him as well. So let me look at Nebraska again. See how it's 4 votes and 1 vote? 4 electoral votes. 4 electoral votes and then 1 electoral vote. So when we look at this chart, here's the 1 for Democrats, and this is for Nebraska, and then here is the 4 for Republicans. I don't understand why CNN's not saying that's there. Maybe that's just their oversight, but maybe there's something I don't know about that. But it's potential, like maybe more could go for Joe Biden. I did not know that. I thought this was all settled. I thought this was all cleaned up. Same thing with over in Maine. Either way, we're converging to reality. And I haven't really been paying attention to the Senate and the House. I hear in one of them there's some murdering going on. Yeah, in the House, Republicans are essentially flipping the seats of all the new Democrats who got in last time. Is it because of the round ridge divot at the bottom? What do you mean? Look at that map. Oh, the spoon technique. Yeah, I was doing like 45-degree angle diagonal scrapes, and it made pretty quick work of the remainder of the yogurt. So I've not really been paying attention to this. So not much of a change in the Senate. Okay. But there's still 4 remaining. What are we waiting for here? Mark Kelly. Yeah, that's good. Ah, the runoff. That's right. North Carolina's got a runoff as well. Not a runoff. Okay, not a runoff. So these 2 could change the Senate. That would be 2 more seats that get picked up. Tommy flipped that one. Huh. Yeah, I haven't really seen too much of this. But that was good to see Mark Kelly. I'm really happy that an astronaut got onto it. Can I put the well, so here's all I've been working towards, Wacky, is this. I just wanted to stare at all the states everyone's talking about, and I wanted to know, what do we have remaining? What's going to happen? Who's going to win it? And I'm pretty satisfied with where I'm at. To where now after 10 o'clock, when Arizona puts their numbers in, all we're going to see changing tonight, all we're going to see changing is like more votes coming in from right here, Wisconsin and Michigan. So I just updated some numbers in this one. So should be pretty good. But yeah, not much more to do. That's good to hear that you're streaming. How's your stream going so far? I thought I saw you do an Overwatch earlier, but I've mostly just been like cranking away at the numbers, trying to understand. Not that I'm like anxious or worried, but because like I have the capability to try to understand the direction each of these major votes are going. It's kind of fun. Plus, I get to flex my math skills, right? Who doesn't want to flex their math skills? Makes it seem like I'm working harder. Here, I'll put my answer in chat. 1. 1 times 10 to the second, I guess. No, 1 times 10 to the 10th. Yeah, exactly. I could, we could do some crazy charts. We could do some decay equations that model the remaining votes. And we could model the remaining votes as something that like decays. The other thing that could be done is that we could go to each of the states, Pennsylvania, Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina, and we could see how many registered voters there are. Right now, based on the percent of the ballots that they've counted, we've been predicting this is how many total votes are going to come in, and this is currently what the total votes are. It's just a sum of this column. Could also go to the voter rolls of Pennsylvania and say, how many registered voters are in Pennsylvania? Because if 6.2 million votes have already come in Pennsylvania, and the estimate of 89% of them have been voted is the way that it's been for the last 6 hours. Like, let me look at Pennsylvania. Back at 7:30 p.m., they were saying Pennsylvania's at 98%. That's 2 hours ago. If I go to 6:30 p.m., Pennsylvania, they were saying was at 88% back at 6:30 p.m., so 3 hours ago. So if we go back to now and we see that Pennsylvania is at 89% and in 3 hours it's only moved 1%, then in Pennsylvania in 3 hours, see here, 3 hours ago it was 3.15%. Now it's at 2.05%. So 1.1% in 3 hours Joe Biden shaved off in Pennsylvania. It's certainly interesting. Anyways, looking at the numbers and the number of votes remaining and the decaying nature of the remainder of the votes, I'm kind of curious if I should now take out the Green Party. Because like one way to do that is just to like put 0.5 for everything. Right? And then everything is all equalized, and so all the remaining votes would now go to either a Democratic or Republican candidate. No funny numbers, just consistent remainder of votes coming in, and that's how it is. And does it change anything? Pennsylvania still goes to Trump. Nevada goes to Biden, which means he wins the presidential election, but by 8,000 votes. Which is why I really want a few more numbers, but we're not going to get them until tomorrow morning. So 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, we'll be able to update this little nail biter right here. But this definitely is good. Arizona, 5 more minutes, and we should be getting some numbers for Arizona. But right now, if Biden continues, he's doing well. But you could have like a sneaky turnaround where it's like 62% Republican for the remainder of the ballots versus like 38% Democrat, and you could have like Trump take Arizona. You know, it just kind of depends on like the percentage of the remaining votes, if that's how many votes are remaining. I don't know. Seems a little high. Oh, I see. I might have to change one thing. Because I don't have C40 in here. I think this might change a few things. I mean, it's only going to change it by orders of magnitude, but let me see if that fixes a problem I was having. Because it's this times this divided by 0.86. Ah, yeah, look at that. Wait a minute. Might just be this cell. Let me see. Times. Okay. I think it's just two different ways to represent it. Okay, I got worried that I forgot something. But no, it looks good. When you look at the equation, this orange right here, this covers this right here, so I couldn't see that this 100 was selected. I was concerned that I didn't multiply this number by 100 and then divide by this number to get this one. I'm just treating these like fractions, if you're wondering what the hell this is all about in here. This is 86 over 100 equals this number over this number, and we're solving for this number. So it's this times x is equal to this times this, and I thought I didn't multiply that, so cool. So, I mean, you know, if Trump had a really good showing in Arizona for the end, he could totally win it. But if Biden just keeps plowing through with his thing, he's got a pretty steady 24-point lead/win. It's cool. I did not expect a freaking nail biter. Not at all. Okay, 9:58. Let's watch Arizona. We're getting there. So what are... It's coming. I'm just gonna wait for that update. Wait for that freaking update. I'll be right back. See what you said, Medic Chan. How you wrote it differently, the equation. The only reason that I wrote it with two different cells was so that if I wanted to not make this 86 over 100, I could make it like a different fraction if I was solving a different problem. And I think I was just being kind of an engineer about it. Notice how crypto prices fell on March 12th, and then we all went into lockdown on March 24th-ish. It's always fun to see. Anyways, historical. How's Bitcoin doing? Fantastic. I think the best way to look at Bitcoin is from 2019 on, because the spike back in 2017, that had a lot to also do with Amazon's rapid growth, and a lot of Amazon's rapid growth was tied to people using the blockchain. So it was a very unique time in money. But I've been curious what's going on in Bitcoin. There's been a lot of pumps over the last month. So I really want to call all these and just be done with it. Okay, so this is what's distracting me, by the way. Like this is what's throwing me off. Is I keep getting to this point where now I've made a chart, I've got all the numbers, I'm happy, I feel like, okay, I know what's going on, I understand what the potentials are, okay, that's great, both candidates, something can go either way, and I just go back to whatever I'm doing. But then I go to the news, and I look at the news, and I'm trying to read the words, and I'm like, you know what? These words are completely meaningless, because I have numbers that, like, I don't need to read what someone's saying with their opinion about why they think this is going to go this way or this way. Mostly because, like, I've been making numbers where I've convinced myself that something will go this way or this way. And I think the assumptions are pretty reasonable. And so it's a good way just to kind of be like, okay, I'm good. Elections. Gotcha. And so if Facebook just made an app that did this exact same thing, that just quickly gave you some probabilities, like I think it'd be so much easier for most people just to kind of like get back to whatever they're doing. All right, so let's check out, see what the Guardian is saying. The Guardian is saying Biden wins Michigan in vital step. Look at how they're calling it. So they're looking at it like I'm looking at it, I guess. They're looking at it. Let's see here. This is how they're looking at it, basically, right? Yeah, but for some odd reason, they're still not calling Nebraska for Trump. I don't understand why Trump doesn't have Nebraska, or why something. It's really weird, because that's the only place where I can get it to subtract the 214. Is if I take off some of these. But anyways, pretty epic. So where's those numbers I was hoping for? Nope, same thing, no change. Oh well. Anyways, I hope we've exchanged enough information to kind of like branch off. I'd love to see what you come up with, Meg Chan. Thanks for popping into my Discord, but it's been, it's been an adventure just trying to learn all this stuff. I really like it. So, I will see you in the future, but I'm going to end the stream for now. Well, Nebraska breaks out the loser share based on the number of votes. Oh, I see. Cool. But anyways, just wanted to kind of like wrap this one up. This is basically where I think it's going to go. So I don't really see any reason to be worried or concerned. Like, this is, it'll work out. And everyone's pretty chill about it. But yeah, I think I hope you're as obsessed about this as I am now, Medic Chan. I'll probably keep doing little stuff like this. Who knows if I'll play some Team Fortress. But this just seemed like I needed to get this kind of information out there because it helped me just chill out doing it this way. So, peace, and I'll see you in the future. Or, who knows, maybe I'll play some TF2.